The pilot episode of Celebrity Deathmatch was first released on MTV's Cartoon Sushi program back in the 1st of January of 1998. Cartoon Sushi was a program that would show us multiple short pilot episodes of new shows, and depending on which one was liked the most, then that show will get its own series released on MTV. And Celebrity Deathmatch luckily became one of the shows that would receive its own first season. So today I want to take a look at the very first pilot episode from my all-time favorite claymation series known as Celebrity Deathmatch. The pilot episode was amazing. We got to meet Nick Diamond, voiced by Len Maxwell, Johnny Gomez, voiced by Maurice Schlafer, and Mills Lane as himself. The first combatants would be Marilyn Manson versus Charles Manson for the title of the most evil man in America. I don't know if the creators knew that Marilyn Manson wasn't an evil man. It was just the idea every parent had because of his appearance and his music. But it's just a way of how he expressed his message in every song and album. I always thought that they knew this, but they just made them fight because of their last names. But either way, it's an entertaining fight. It's a very short fight, but even with the few hits they each take, it's done in a creative way. The animation looks very good. They don't hold back with the violence. At one point, Charles Manson takes a bite out of Marilyn's shoulder. He spits out the chunk of flesh grows legs and crawls away. Like, what the hell was that, right? It's also funny to see Mills Lane checking up on a combatant's condition, seeing as he would rarely do this throughout the series.
Referee Mills Lane sizing up the situation now.
Okay, 2 points for biting. I'm gonna deduct 2 points for biting. How you doing? Can you go on, son? You wanna go on?
So the fight ends quick with a finishing move that I'd consider one of the best fatalities in the first season. Marilyn Manson waits for Charles Manson to charge at him, and just when he gets close enough, he rams his right hand through Charles's mouth, grabs his spinal cord, and completely pulls his skeleton off his own flesh and chucks it at the audience. It can't get any more brutal than that. There were 2 pilot episodes. The first one, which was part of Cartoon Sushi and only had Marilyn Manson versus Charles Manson. Then the second pilot episode, which had Howard Stern versus Kathie Lee Gifford, Pamela Anderson versus RuPaul, and Hanson versus the Spice Girls. In the second pilot episode, we get introduced to Marv Albert, who would interview celebrities and analyze the fights, pointing things out. He only made an appearance in the second pilot episode and the first official episode. His absence throughout the series was never mentioned, and Stacey Cornbread would end up interviewing celebrities doing Marv Albert's job, up until she too would be replaced by Debbie Matenopoulos. Marilyn Manson would go on to appear again in the second pilot episode, then again versus Garth Brooks in the first season, and once more in the second season where he performs Astonishing Panorama of the End Times, followed up by a fight against Ricky Martin. Marilyn's second appearance becomes another one of the first season's iconic moments. During the main event of the second pilot episode, the Hanson boys are putting up a good fight against the Spice Girls, but their fight gets interrupted as a light rig from above them comes crashing down on top of the ring. Mills Lane was also in the ring when the light rig collapsed on them, but I guess he just got lucky. Then when Marilyn Manson goes up against Garth Brooks, we get a shocking surprise from above, and it turns out that all 3 Hanson kids survived. So Mills Lane wasn't the only one to avoid death by a falling light rig. So these kids try giving Marilyn Manson a taste of his own medicine, but the idiots decide to hand over the chainsaw to the smallest kid, and of course he can't handle it and ends up cutting everything but the light rig itself. It's pretty damn hilarious if you ask me. His concert appearance needs to be covered in a separate video, as I'd like to talk about that event with the previous 2 fights that occurred during that episode. But anyways, all of his appearances had a memorable outcome. In my opinion, this was a good short fight that works well to give us an example of things to come. The only thing missing is the part where both combatants taunt each other, making puns that relate to their careers. The announcers, Nick and Johnny, do a great job as hosts of the show, and giving us Mills Lane as the referee, you couldn't ask for more. Or actually, that's the reason why CDM was given its own show, because we definitely wanted to see more. And Eric Fogel and his crew did an outstanding job giving us 4 fantastic seasons without toning down any of the violence. Celebrity Deathmatch is a show that I grew up watching, and it never started to suck. Not up until they tried bringing it back with the 5th and 6th seasons. I'll talk about those seasons in a separate video. But also, I want to talk about a lot of the episodes and fights that are worth revisiting for extra Celebrity Deathmatch content on my channel. So be ready for those. As for now, That's it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, as apparently now it doesn't even matter if you hit the notification button. The like button is the only thing YouTube is permitting us to use as a way to send more traffic to that video. YouTube is full of surprises, isn't it? If you're a Patreon supporter, check out the exclusive videos on my Patreon. Go support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.